r/Nosleep. Posted by Reddit user. Not underscored necessarily. I got a job as a security guard at a remote shopping mall. I found a strange set of rules in the employee manual. Part 1. I had been searching for a job for quite a while now. My parents were getting sick of me and they really wanted me to move out. About a week ago, I found the perfect job. It paid pretty well, and all I had to do was watch a camera feed and check on other guards every once in a while. I'm a night owl as well, so the night shift was perfect for me. I could read books, play games, scroll through social media, and basically do whatever I wanted as long as I did the routine checks of the mall. Much of the system was automated, and there were alarms everywhere, so I needed to pay little attention really. What surprised me was how much they were paying for the job. $65 an hour. I knew it was way too much for such a position. It seemed like a prank when I first saw the Facebook ad. Even the website seemed fake. Who names their security business Entity Security Services? Other than the name of the business and the wage, everything else seemed pretty legit. And so, I applied for it. A couple of days later, I got a call from them. They took a basic interview for me over the phone, and they also asked about my health and physical fitness level. The last question they asked me seemed a bit out there, but then also fit the position I was applying for. Are you able to work efficiently in stressful and life-threatening situations? I kind of paused at that one. The interviewer asked the question in such a serious tone. I was lost in my head for a moment, before the interviewer brought me back to the call with a hello nudge. Yes, I believe I can handle possible scenarios that might occur at the mall. I wasn't sure about my response, but I really didn't want to turn down such a good offer. What are the chances of a mall getting robbed by an armed gang anyways? The interviewer told me I'll get a response in a couple of days and hung up. Fast forward the next day, I got a call from the company again, and they told me I was chosen for the position. My first shift would be the next night. It was a cold, rainy night. The rain relentlessly poured down on my widescreen as my wipers struggled to wipe it away. I shivered. I turned the heater all the way up. The road was dark, and the only source of light were my headlights. Even the moon had been covered by the thick rain clouds. I was nearly there. I was super excited for my first shift, but also a touch nervous. The mall was a 30-minute drive from my house, and was in a remote location. The location of the mall made me slightly uneasy. My uneasiness increased when I arrived at the mall. It was an old dark building. I navigated to the parking lot and zipped up my jacket as I stepped out of the car. I felt extremely vulnerable in the empty, vast parking lot. There was a forest on either side of me, and the only road that led here was the single big road that I used to drive here. I saw a couple of other cars in the parking lot as well. They were probably other security guards. I ran to the mall entrance. The inside of the mall was just like the outside. Surely no one visited this mall. I spotted a couple of other people and started walking towards them. They all turned in my direction when they heard my footsteps on the marble floor. They introduced themselves as the other security guards. They were Andy. He seemed pretty excited for the job and wasn't nervous at all. He has worked in other remote locations too and really likes the night guard jobs. Marcus, he was a bit fidgety like me, as this was his first job. And Dylan, he was the introverted one out of all of us. He was quiet and shy and really only gave his name. We all waited for a manager or someone to arrive, but no one came. It was well past our starting time of 10 p.m. We decided to do our jobs when it was confirmed that no one was going to turn up to tell us what to do. I made my way through the security room, while the others took up their jobs. I felt pretty bad for Andy, who had to stand at the entrance, but he was getting paid double my wage. I got myself comfortable in the security room and scanned the 20 camera screens across the wall. I looked around the room for some kind of manual on how to operate the system and what everything meant. I wanted to do good on my first shift. As I picked up the tattered employee manual, a sheet of paper fell out of it. I picked up the small sheet of paper. I'll transcribe what it said here. Essential rules for employee safety on these premises. These rules must be followed under any circumstances. These rules are only for the security room employee. Other employees will get a similar set of rules. Failure to follow these rules will result in injury or loss of life. Number 1. Do not exit the security room unless it's time for your routine check. No matter what you see or hear, you must not leave the room. Number 2. Walk around the mall every hour. Your walk should not take longer than 15 minutes. If you do find yourself still outside after 15 minutes, take shelter in one of the stores. Number 3. If you get a call on the phone in the security room, pick it up. If it's one of the employees that you met earlier, continue talking. Otherwise, hang up quickly. Number 4. If someone starts knocking on the door, hide in the toilet and lock the door until the knocking stops. Do not open the door under any circumstances. Number 5. Do your routine checks. If you hear crying or laughter, immediately run back to the security room. Number 6. If you see a black figure on the cameras or during the routine checks, close your eyes immediately and turn around a corner. If you can't turn a corner, keep your eyes closed and walk to the nearest store. If there is no store next to you, or if you see the figure on the cameras, lie down. Count to 360, then open your eyes. Number 7. You may see some sort of entity or disturbing occurrence on the camera. You will be alerted to it by high-pitched beeps. As soon as you hear the beep, stare at the camera without looking away until it turns off by itself. You may see extremely disturbing things on the camera, but you must not look away. Number 8. Towards the end of your shift, you may start feeling sleepy. It could be natural, but as a precaution, resist the urge to lie down and close your eyes, no matter how strong it is. Number 9. Keep this sheet of paper with you. You'll need it to access Rule 10. It seemed like a prank on the new employee. I was about to throw away the sheet of paper when I heard a high-pitched beep. I immediately looked up at camera 9 and saw something I'll never forget. A horrifying alien-like creature was eating Andy. It had yellow skin and unnaturally long limbs. Its limbs ended in not hands, but razor-sharp points. It stabbed Andy relentlessly and slowly consumed him with its gaping, bloody mouth. I struggled to hold in my dinner, and I desperately needed to look away. I was at the breaking point when the camera finally shut down. I turned around and puked violently into the rubbish bin. This isn't going to be a fun night.